I am amazing. I can't settle for good because I'm destined for great.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Pursuit of Excellence family, where you'll learn how to develop students' life skills, mindset, and character. In this video, we'll explore how to build student confidence by having them engage in positive self-talk. We've been talking about mindset for a few weeks now. We talked about how to motivate students to adopt a growth mindset through self-affirmation, and we even talked about how to create your very own tailor-made affirmation for your students. If you missed those videos, I'll include the links in the description below so you can go back and watch them. Not only will it set you up for what we're going to talk about today, but also there's exclusive free downloads in the descriptions of those videos that I don't want you to miss out on. So I'm going to link them in the description below and you can go check those out. But today, we're going to take it outside of the classroom or outside of the Zoom room and into students' personal lives. You've heard me say before that good teachers teach subjects, but great teachers teach students. So that means that it goes beyond the content. It goes beyond the classroom. It goes beyond your subject area, and it goes into developing the skills they need to pursue excellence in life. And even great teachers need to realize that even though you stepped past content delivery and into character development, you're still only one piece of the puzzle. Let me explain it like this. We often refer to building up students with an analogy like pouring, so like pouring into cups. So imagine that this right here, this cup represents the students. And this tall, strong, beautiful canister is you, the teacher. See, as a great teacher who cares about their students, you are constantly pouring into them to develop their self-confidence, to develop their resilient attitude, to develop their positive self-image. See, you subscribe to the Pursuit of Excellence channel and you learn how to develop students' life skills, mindset, and character. And you fill them up with power. But what we can't see happening is the effect that the brokenness of their past experiences has left on them. Years of believing they're inadequate. Years of hearing, I won't be able to. Years of being told that I shouldn't even bother. This negativity has left internal scars and holes that no matter how often you as a teacher pours into me, I cannot hold on to that positivity. And you can pour into me every class, every day in and day out. But eventually, I'm going to go to another teacher or to another grade level. And without you constantly pouring into me, I'm left broken and empty. But there is a way to repair brokenness, and it starts with self. We've talked about it before, that if words can shake your confidence, words can shape your confidence. The students need to rewrite history and reprogram their brain to override every negative thing that they've heard about themselves and to now begin that they are good enough, that they are capable, that they are smart and beautiful. And as great of a teacher as you are, you telling me that I'm good enough and me believing that I'm good enough is two different things. It's great to hear you tell me that I'm good enough, but the way that we get students to believe it is by having it come out of their own mouth. And that's why individualized positive self-talk is the missing puzzle piece that students need to accelerate growth. Because by speaking this positivity into themselves, they start to believe it. And when they start believing it, they start to become more willing to try. And I've said it before, all I need is some willingness, and I can turn that into mastery. So how do we get students to create their own affirmations, to repair that brokenness, and to build up that confidence? Well, as you know, there's a 5-part Pursuit of Excellence year-long growth mindset resource that was designed to develop a student's growth mindset throughout the whole entire school year. Part 2 of that resource is completely dedicated to teaching students how to create their own self-affirmations. And I have a treat for you. So for watching this video and for caring enough about your students to want to grow them as individuals outside of the classroom, I'm granting you exclusive access to download that Part 2 of the 5-part series completely free for you to use with your students. Now, currently, this offer is only available to subscribers, so make sure that you subscribe and then check the description below to figure out how to download this free resource. Now, if you don't want the resource, that's fine. Remember, my passion is to grow students. My passion is to put students on a trajectory where they can propel towards greatness. So it doesn't matter necessarily if you use my specific resource, but what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna give you all the steps that you need to get students to create their very own powerful self-affirmation. So when getting students to create their own affirmation, the first thing you want to tell them is to start with I am. Because there's power in saying I am. We recognize that when we start with I am, that means I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about him or her. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about me. This is specifically designed and individualized just for me. You also want them to remember to state what you want, not what you don't want. So you don't want an affirmation that says something like, I am not a failure, or I am not ugly. Rather, state what you want. I am a success story. I am beautiful, and I love the skin that I'm in. Right? Frame it positively, not negatively. The next thing that you want to tell them is to speak as if it's something that they're already doing, not something that they want to eventually do. So it's, I am capable of learning algebra, not I hope someday I can get algebra. And then lastly, this comes from the other video in the class affirmation, keep it brief and catchy. We want it to be something quick enough that they can remember and catchy enough for them to want to say all the time. So this doesn't have to be something extremely long, a long dissertation or something like that. This just has to be something quick, brief, and specific to them and their individual needs. And no, this isn't the only way to create a self-affirmation, but it's definitely an effective way to create a powerful self-affirmation for your students. So just to give you an overview, if you do decide to sign up and get the resource, students will first start off with a video, a 2-minute video, that explains to them the why behind the positive self-affirmation. Then they'll go through the 3 steps that I just explained to you. Then they'll create their own affirmation. Then they'll view some non-examples of some poorly written affirmations and they'll have to correct them. Then they'll have to answer reflection questions onto what inspired them to write their affirmation. Then they'll have to commit to saying their affirmation regularly. So this interactive lesson is full of goodness. But again, if you don't use the resource, that's fine. But remember to go through those steps that I just outlined to teach students how to create their own affirmation and remind them to be consistent as they recite it. This needs to be something that is part of their regular daily routine. Because remember, for 12, 13, 14 years, they've been told that they can't. They've been told that they're not good enough. They've been told that they'll never be good enough. And they need to literally rewrite history. And that takes consistent positivity. So if you're like me and you're tired of pouring into broken cups, teach your students how to rebuild and how to repair through positive self-talk. And just to show you that I practice what I preach, I'm gonna leave you with a video of my daughter and I as we go through her daily affirmation that I wrote specifically for her and her needs. So although she may not understand all the words and the definitions of the words that I'm using right now, I understand that it's never too early to start building her character. Because I need her to grow up knowing how beautiful she is, how amazing she is, how smart and capable she is. I need her to know from an early age that excellence is not the exception, it's our expectation. All right? So I'll leave you with that video. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.
I am amazing. I can't settle for good because I'm destined for great. So in love with myself that there's no room for hate because I was made by a God that makes no mistakes. Yeah. Have a good night, baby girl.